Greetings, Aries and Aries rising. This is your Western forecast for November 2024. November the 1st, we have a new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is this passionate, all or nothing, intensely emotional energy. There's a new moon every 4 weeks. This new moon is going to be putting a spotlight on your 8th house, because Scorpio is 8 signs past Aries. And the 8th house can be dealing with two basic areas: financial and psychological. Financial, the 8th house can be dealing with your debts, taxes, insurance, loans, even maybe financial gifts or settlements. So there could be a major focus on financial matters. Fortunately, this Scorpio new moon impacting you for the entire month of November is trining or in harmony with practical, pragmatic Saturn. So that Saturn gives the discipline to accomplish your long-range goals, especially around financing. The other part of the 8th house is the sector of transformations, where we look to for astrology, the occult, but for most of us could be with counseling, because it gives the opportunity to go deep and bring some real insight to make a positive change in our lives. And because the new moon is in harmony with Saturn, it's giving the discipline, the concentration to achieve these long-term goals, psychologically or financially. Now we have two other big themes. Mercury, the planet of information, communication, goes from sign to sign, usually every 3 to 4 weeks. But it's going to go into Sagittarius November the 2nd through January the 8th. And that is because on the 25th of November, Mercury goes retrograde, it remaining in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, in harmony with Aries, or Aries rising, a fire sign. So Mercury's in retrograde until December the 15th. Then after you've done all this reevaluating and rethinking and regrouping, now your attention, your focus can have more clarity, continuing in with 9th house matters until January the 8th. So Mercury, what are you thinking about? What is on your mind? The 9th house, higher education, traveling, publishing, learning. Now, Mars goes from sign to sign about every 6 weeks. November the 3rd, Mars is going into the fire sign of Leo, but it's going to go retrograde, which I'll talk about next month, because it's going to retrograde December the 6th through the end of February. But it's going to be initially, Mars is going to be in Leo in your 5th house from November the 3rd till January the 6th. So, before I break all that down and how it applies to you, if you enjoy these types of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find a direct link to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer. Now, November, with the new moon in Scorpio in your 8th house, but trining or supported by Saturn, this could be a very favorable month to get a hold of your debts, because that 8th house is your financial obligations. So any kind of business matters, trying to get loans or backers or settlements, that Saturn is keeping you very focused and grounded to achieve your long-range goals. Now, Mercury, as I said, is going to go into Sagittarius November the 2nd. Well, let me first say, before I forget, that Sagittarius is a fire sign in harmony with Aries, a fire sign. So Mercury is in harmony with Aries and Aries rising in the 9th house, since Sagittarius is 9 signs past Aries. But I also said Mars, your ruling planet. Every sign has a ruling planet, which can help describe one's life purpose, one's motivations and drives. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is going to be transiting for these next 2 months in the fire sign of Leo. So we're having actually like a grand trine of Mercury and Sag trining your sun in Aries or your rising sign in Aries, and Mars, ambitious, assertive Mars in the fire sign of Aries or in Leo, in harmony with the sun, and Aries in harmony with Mercury. So with all that fire, there's a lot of inspiration, a lot of motivation and drive. So it's very active. And yet, one of the main focuses to keep in mind is on shoring up and stabilizing your financial responsibilities. But also, all that fire can bring a lot of inspiration and drive. And with the 8th house of the new moon in Scorpio, that 8th house is the house of transformation and psychology and astrology. So you could be really being really motivated to really stabilize all your financial matters and responsibilities, but also to feel more confident about your inner well-being. All right. So Mercury's in Sagittarius November the 2nd, and then it retrogrades November the 25th through December the 15th. When Mercury is what's on your mind in Sagittarius, Mercury in Sagittarius, you could be really thinking about learning and education and traveling. That's Sagittarius. But it's going to be doubly reinforced because Sagittarius is the 9th sign past Aries. So Mercury is transiting through your 9th house of travel and higher education and teaching and publishing, because it's the house of Sagittarius. But your Mercury, what are you thinking about? Where your mind is focused on is in the sign of Sagittarius. So there's going to be a major emphasis on 9th house matters. And when the sun leaves Scorpio, now, which will be November the 21st, but the new moon in Scorpio is going to hold the 8th house Scorpio energies for 4 weeks. But after 3 weeks, the sun leaves Scorpio and goes into Sagittarius for those next 4 weeks. So it's not pulling away those 8th house matters. It's bringing in some more interests. And with Mercury, you could be getting involved with 9th house can be publishing, marketing, all right? And the 8th house can be financial negotiations, or you could be attracting a publishing deal, a media marketing deal, as an example. Or you could be borrowing money or getting grants or scholarships, that's the 8th house, to enhance your education. That's the 9th house. And then come November the 21st, that last week of November, now the sun is putting more emphasis on the 9th house matters. But on the 25th of November, the Mercury goes retrograde. It remains in your 9th house till December the 15th. Then it goes direct, where you're having more clarity of mind, to January the 8th. So this is a long time for Mercury. But it's going to start to be really emphasized when the sun goes into Sag at the end of the month, but then Mercury is retrograding in Sag at the end of the month. So that Mercury in retrograde, you could be reevaluating, revising, second-guessing. You've heard all of this. Sometimes with Mercury in retrograde, there's more mistakes, there's more, misunderstandings. But when it comes to the 9th house, if we're talking about, you could be changing or updating your travel plans or your educational plans or your website, or with having an online business and internet marketing. That's all the 9th house. And then the Mercury in retrograde could be that revising and rethinking all those areas. Mars, your ruling planet, the transit of Mars is always very personal for you. And it's going into the fire sign of Leo, November the 3rd. Now it retrogrades December the 6th, but it's still remaining in Aries till January the 6th. So, did I say Aries? Leo. So, the Mars in Leo is 5 signs past Aries. So there's going to be, with Mars, a lot of ambition and drive and physical energies. Now the 5th house can be the sector of children. And there might be a strong desire for children or playing with children or any kind of children projects. 5th house is romance. There could be a lot more passion physically, romantically. In business, since there was a lot of business with the 8th house of the new moon in Scorpio, the business side of the 5th house is investing and speculation. But you wouldn't want to be investing after Mercury goes retrograde, and especially when Mars is retrograde, because your investments may be slowed down. The 5th house is recreational activities, sports. It's very physical energy with the Mars and the 5th house. So there could be a lot of this dynamic energy. This would be great for going on a vacation. That's the 5th house, kind of an adventurous vacation where there could be a lot of physical activity, or you could be bicycling or playing, hiking, mountain climbing, river rafting. You catch my drift. Mars is all that real physical energy, risk-taking energy in the 5th house of sports and recreational activities. Now, Venus is that planet of love and desire, and Venus is in Sagittarius the first 11 days. So this is that Venus, what you desire, what you love, could be with education, could be with publishing. That's all 9th house, could be with traveling. But come November the 11th through December the 6th, Venus goes into Capricorn once a year. Capricorn is 10 signs past Aries. So the 10th house deals with career, leadership, visibility, more your professional reputation. Venus there, you're being more well-liked. This could be very favorable if you're trying to pitch or get involved in any kind of creative business, since Venus is also the planet of creativity, but it's also the planet of popularity. So anything you're trying to pitch, and there's be that Venus energy can bring in whatever you're selling, people are going to buy because they're buying you, because you're going to be putting out all that popularity. And then Scorpio, new moon, for the whole month of November, could be really focused on business negotiations and contracts, partnerships, financial partnerships. So there's a lot of very favorable business energies going on. But also, with that Mars in the 5th, taking some time for fun and games and a little romance. One last thing, the new moon on November the 1st is where it's planting the seeds of all these financial matters or doing some psychological introspection. 2 weeks later is the full moon on November the 15th. The full moon always brings to light what's working and not working with the seeds you planted from the 8th house on November the 1st. But this full moon is going to be right next to rebellious, unexpected Uranus in your 2nd house of income, since the full moon in Taurus is opposite the new moon in Scorpio and opposite the 8th house of finances is the 2nd house of your own personal income. So around the 15th, there could be some unexpected surprises, that's the Uranus energies, or unexpected windfalls of monies coming your way. It might even come because of the Mars, that risk-taking Mars in your 5th house of investments, the first couple of weeks of November. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co, that's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.